What's up guys, Zach here, coming at you with another video. Today is actually going to be kind of a different video. We're going to be talking about a topic that's actually not gaming related, which I know is kind of not like me. But I decided today, I'm running out of ideas of things to talk about, and I just kind of want to talk about something that I personally like and enjoy. So today I'm going to be reflecting on my experience watching Nickelodeon shows back in the early mid-2000s. And yeah, so I'm just going to be talking about Nickelodeon as a whole because obviously SpongeBob was a very hot topic on this channel at one point with Rehydrated. So I might as well actually fully dive deep into my history with Nickelodeon, the shows I watch, what I thought of them, and I've actually been going back and rewatching some of those shows. And yeah, it's going to be a really interesting time, so thank you guys so much for watching, and let's get right into the video. So obviously when I was a kid, I absolutely loved SpongeBob. SpongeBob was just one of those shows that I could always go back and rewatch. At least, you know, seasons 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, I think, were the main ones that I personally watched and enjoyed. I haven't really gone back and watched much of SpongeBob recently, but SpongeBob is just a main integral part of my childhood, and I can't see myself anywhere without it. I mean, of course, Rehydrated came out, so that's, of course, a big thing, especially when it comes to my channel. But, you know, the show itself is also very important, a big staple in my life. And yeah, some of my favorite episodes from SpongeBob have to be Rock Bottom. Obviously, it is a classic episode. It's absolutely great. Also, the campfire episode, I think it's called the camping episode. I forget the name of the episode, but it's the one with the sea bear, you know, where they have to draw a circle in the sand. That one's always fun. And of course, like everyone's favorite is Band Geeks, and that's also one of my favorites. Great episode, just such a great time in general. Overall, yes, SpongeBob is great. I love SpongeBob, and yeah, like I said, I haven't watched SpongeBob in a long time, to be honest. But I'm sure if I went and rewatched some of the earlier seasons, I'd probably find some enjoyment out of it. Another show I enjoyed as a kid was Fairly Odd Parents. Now, I didn't watch this one as much as SpongeBob, so I probably can't label a specific episode that I really liked above all else. Actually, no, I just lied when I said that. Actually, I do remember the episode I really, really liked. It's the one where Timmy Turner and Cosmo and Wanda go through like the TV and they go channel surfing. I don't remember the name of the episode, but they went through a bunch of different TV show styles, and it was just a fun time. I think they mocked anime. It was just such a fun time. But I remember that episode. I remember loving it as a kid just because I remember how it tied into other TV shows, and I thought it was cool that they were taking these styles of other TV shows and implementing it into the Fairly Odd Parents. I even think there was like a Peanuts theme, like a Snoopy Peanuts theme. I don't know. It was just really, really cool. I really liked the episode. I wish I had more to say on it, but just like SpongeBob, I haven't watched it in years, and my attachment rate to Fairly Odd Parents isn't as strong as my attachment rate to SpongeBob, but I do remember the Fairly Odd Parents being a staple of my childhood as well. Yeah, I got really nothing else to say on it, unfortunately. And of course, if I watched those two, then I obviously watched other ones as well, like Jimmy Neutron, Danny Phantom. I also watched some older cartoons as a kid. Like I watched a little bit of Real Monsters. I watched a bit of Hey Arnold, Cat Dog. I even watched the really obscure Nickelodeon cartoon Cat Scratch. Y'all remember Cat Scratch? That was a fun time. I remember that. But none of those were shows that really landed with me, really stuck with me. And as I grew older, I kind of drew away from the cartoons, and I went more into the live action stuff. As you can tell by the thumbnail, I always watched a lot of the live action shows. And one of the main ones from my childhood that I remember watching was Drake and Josh. Drake and Josh was such a fun show to watch, starring obviously Drake Bell, Josh Peck, Miranda Cosgrove, Nancy Sullivan, just so many great people that were acting in that show. Most of them came from the Amanda Show that came out like right before Drake and Josh started, which I also love the Amanda Show. The Amanda Show was also great. Amanda Bynes, I think, was really interesting in her early days, and the Amanda Show was really the last big thing she did when it comes to Nickelodeon, at least. And obviously before that, she was on All That. And I loved All That as a kid. All That was such a good time. I remember loving watching All That as a kid, particularly obviously before the reboot, not even the modern current day reboot. I mean the reboot that happened like in 2005 or something like that, where they brought the show back after a couple of years of not doing it. But I mean like the early days when Kenan Thompson, Kel Mitchell, Lori Beth Denberg, Danny Tamborelli, Amanda Bynes, all of them were in the show. Those were the glory days. At least that's what I remember watching as a kid. There's this channel called Nickelodeon Games and Sports, and that's where I watched it on. I also watched all the little game shows from the 90s, like Figure It Out, Legends of the Hidden Temple, Guts. There were so many great shows on there. I remember always wanting, actually, let me tell you a funny story. One of my favorites was Legends of the Hidden Temple. And my friend Michael and I, when we were younger, we loved the show so much where we held competitions like Legends of the Hidden Temple in my father's house. What we did is, there are these tokens, I forget what they're called, but the temple tokens, or whatever they're called, they are basically your lifeline. So basically, we would take like these cup coasters, the coasters that you set glasses on. We took those, and those were our tokens. And if we went into a room where there was a temple guard, we had to give away the coaster. It was just such a fun time. I remember that so much. It was so much fun. Obviously, this was like 15, probably even close to 20 years ago at this point. Okay, maybe not 20 years ago, but 15 years ago maybe. It was just a hoot and a holler. So I love how all of that was a side tangent from me talking about Drake and Josh. Let's get back on track here. Drake and Josh was so funny. I love the dynamic that Drake Bell and Josh Peck have. They had such good chemistry together, and Miranda Cosgrove as Megan. Miranda Cosgrove was in a lot of different Nickelodeon shows, obviously iCarly being one of them, but also, as like a special guest, kind of. She was in Zoe 101. I'm going to talk about Zoe 101 later. Obviously iCarly, and she was in a lot of different shows, and, and she did such a great job. I think Drake and Josh is still her best performance. A lot of people are probably going to say iCarly is, but I think she did a great job in Drake and Josh, just because Megan has a little more of a character there. But yeah, Drake and Josh is absolutely spectacular. So Drake and Josh was like the main 2000s Nick sitcom that I watched, but the other one that I mainly watched, and many people hated to admit it when they were younger, but it was Zoe 101. Zoe 101 was such a great show. I'm actually rewatching it right now. I just started season 3. I'm rewatching. Or no. Actually, no. I'm still in season 2. Never mind. Scratch that. I'm still in season 2, but I'm rewatching it. It still holds up. I mean, yes, it's outdated. With the technology, there weren't really smartphones yet. Actually, I don't think there were smartphones in the first few seasons of the show, but it was just such a fun time. It's just a great show. It's just absolutely great. I love a lot of the characters. We're going to get into a show later where I actually went back and I actually didn't really like a lot of the characters, but Zoe 101, I think, had great characters. Zoe's great. Say what you will about Jamie Lynn Spears and her attitude towards Alexa Nicholas, who played Nicole. There's a lot of drama between them and, some of that kind of stuff. But nevertheless, great characters, Zoe, Nicole, Quinn, Logan, Chase, Michael, just great character chemistry. I think the show is brilliant. Obviously, I'm still kind of binge watching it. I'm still kind of rewatching. I still gotta go through seasons 3 and 4. I think I still gotta finish season 2. But yeah, it's just a great show. Yeah, I got nothing else really to say about it. Oh, I gotta talk about my favorite episode of Drake and Josh and Zoe 101. Drake and Josh, I think my favorite episode. Oh, that's actually really tough, because I love a lot of the episodes of Drake and Josh. I think my favorite episode might have to be the one where Josh runs over Oprah. I mean, just such an iconic episode. Or maybe, I don't know, or the Treehouse episode, obviously is a classic, now I'm thinking about it. There's just so many great episodes of Drake and Josh. I don't think I can pinpoint one episode that I like more than the others. And I'm kind of thinking the same for Zoe 101, except I really did like that one Halloween episode, I think it's called The Curse at PCA, where there's a curse. I don't know, I thought it was a pretty good episode. The Spring Fling one was also pretty good. Overall, yeah, there's just lots of episodes in both of those shows that I thoroughly did enjoy. So after those shows, obviously more so came in the iCarlys and the Victoriouses. Yeah. So iCarly, I actually didn't really watch too much of. I watched a lot of the earlier seasons, but I sort of kind of fell off of iCarly. Not because I didn't like the show or anything. I haven't gone and rewatched it yet. But I don't know, just like iCarly, I just kind of fell off of it for some reason. I don't know if it was the characters or just the episodes started to get less interesting for me. I don't know. I guess I'll have to go back and rewatch it and see why I felt, because I was pretty young at the time, maybe like 11, 12 years old, maybe 13 when, the episodes were going. And, I guess just fell off it, maybe just got busy with school. you know. And with Victorious, I don't think I really ever watched it. I never watched it when I was younger. I mean, I think I did probably watch like a few episodes, but I didn't like watch consistently, you know, episode week after week. So I actually binge watched Victorious in the span of a couple weeks. Watched all the episodes, obviously, except for the special that they did with iCarly, like I Party with Victorious, I think it's called. So I didn't watch that, but I did watch everything else. And Victorious is a good show. I like Victorious. The characters, though, I don't like many of the characters. Obviously, there's a lot of controversy around Victorious, mostly because Tori is the least interesting character of them. She does not have like an amazing singing voice, and this isn't to downplay the fact that Victoria Justice is a good singer, but when you look at the who she was with, you know, I mean, like Liz Gillies, for instance, she's an amazing singer, but I actually hate Liz Gillies' character so much. I hated Jade. There are so many. I actually put this on my own personal Snapchat when I was watching it. I was like, you know, everyone always crushed on Jade, but I'm like, I don't get why. Yes, she is attractive and she has a good singing voice, but she is just toxic. She is super, super toxic, and I actually cringed while watching it. Again, not to discredit anything about Liz Gillies. It's just that the character that they wrote for her was, oh my god, I hated it. And then with Kat, who's played by Ariana Grande, she was just absolutely, like, so dumb, to the fact where she was cringeworthy too. And, you know, Tori was so stuck up, and Trina was even worse. The male characters kind of got the better treatment. I mean, I don't know the actor's name, so I apologize, but the guy who played Robbie, I think, no, he wasn't the best out of the characters, but there was a little more to him. I think he's like one of the only characters besides, obviously, actually no, I don't even know if we see Tori's bedroom. We see, you know, Robbie in his bedroom, in bed with Rex, the puppet. I like Rex. But like, I don't think we've ever seen any bedroom of any other character. I think maybe besides Jade, actually. But regardless, Robbie was actually kind of interesting. Andre was really, really cool. You know, he was the kind. I don't know how to describe Andre. He's not my favorite character, but he is pretty good. I personally really like Beck. I think Beck was a really good character. I think, you know, he had a bit more to him. There were quite a few episodes surrounding him. We learned a little bit about him. I don't know. I like Beck. He's a cool guy. I liked him. And then of course you have Psychowitz. Psychowitz is really, really cool. I like him as a character. As for my favorite episode, I'm not sure if I have a favorite episode. Because I just kind of binge watched the whole series, so it's all kind of a blur right now. But I mean, there were quite a few good episodes in there. I liked the episode where they were in like a giant cupcake, like a parade float, and they had to get to this place, but it didn't work out for them. There's quite a few good episodes in there. I usually like the episodes where all the characters are present and interacting with each other, because some episodes focus on certain characters, and I usually like the ones where they're all kind of together interacting, because then you get to find balance. Because like I said, a lot of the characters, there's a quirk about them that I just really don't like. And when there's episodes focusing on certain characters, those are just kind of exemplified for me. So I like it when they're all together, because they kind of balance it out. They make it work. And yeah. And the most recent thing I'm going to talk about, because I have not watched Nickelodeon shows as of recently, but I guess the most recent thing I'll talk about is Sam and Cat, which I haven't really watched much of. I started to watch it because I just got done with Victorious, and I was like, maybe I'll give Sam and Cat a try, because obviously I was used to Cat from Victorious. And I started watching the first few episodes, and I just wasn't getting into it, because I don't really know much about Sam from iCarly, because I didn't really watch much of iCarly, and Cat is just not a fun character for me to watch much of, like alone at least. Like I said, I need the other characters there to kind of have that balance. So when it's just Cat and Sam, it's not that great, and for me at least. So I got like maybe 3 or 4 episodes in. I was just kind of like, I'll stop here. Not much more for me to see, really. But yeah, so there's me talking about my Nickelodeon experience and what I grew up watching. There's a lot there to unpack, I know, for a 15-minute video. So yeah, let me know what you guys watched when you were a kid on Nickelodeon. There's my history. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. All that stuff down below. Click on the notification bell so you're notified of when I upload videos. And make sure to check out the merch store. There's some cool ZakPak merch up on there. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video.